Attention. Please let us have your attention.
One of the first questions we like to ask the artists that come in is we like to try and get you to think way back to when you first started rapping.
Yeah.
See if you can remember your first lyric.
My first lyric?
Yeah.
Wow. I get hazy moments when I just can't think, so I pour out a spliff and fill up a drink. After I blink, I see blue stars in the corners of my visionary scopes, but I focus to see them as specks flying by on the road. Siren sounds. I push my weed in my balls with a violent frown. My heart silent, pound is loud enough to make my forehead sweat. Forget what I'm saying, I watch my steps. I gotta get out, I scream and I shout, but I ain't heard in the slightest. It only took me a couple of minutes to write this. In the States, they're gonna say that we're the nicest, cause it was on that kind of form.
Yeah,
That was it.
That's nice.
That was it. I always got that one. I got that one in my brain back ready all the
There's
time.
not many people that can come up with it and just start spitting it to our question time.
Say no more, say no more.
Right. So you've been around for a hot minute. A lot of people might know that you started off in PDC, yeah?
Originally, yeah. That's from growing up.
Way back in
Yeah,
it.
way back.
Channel U.
Channel U.
One of the first hood videos on there.
Basically, yeah.
So around that time you dropped Grab Alarmsy 1. And then it was a long time before we actually heard anything from you again. So in between that time there, what were you up to?
Well, basically, it's been a lot of just building, and was working on a project with Low Key for a while. We still got that one under wraps. Doing a lot of shows, just trying to get my name out there. Basically, went abroad a little bit. Come back, trying to just kind of formulate and organize the People's Army. And now, I think that's kind of where it needs to be. So, just starting to get my projects out there more. So, that's basically where I'm at right now.
I hear that. So, you got two things that you mentioned there. You got the thing with Low Key, I believe it's called n.w.o.
Yeah.
How did you get that started? And what can we expect from that to come up in when, and what can we kind of expect to come up in the future?
Boy, it started from when I met Low Key, obviously, from the old real days. Like minds combined and kind of think alike, and we just kind of connected over the years. Made a few tracks to the point where we may as well make a project, reading the same kind of things. So we had the same concepts on music and life in general. So boom, that's how that kind of generated itself. And then everything else. What was the other part of the question?
What you got coming up?
What I've got coming up, I've got the album for the Listen projects coming up.
What you got with n.w.o?
For the n.w.o,
personal stuff.
that's coming very soon. Like, that's just in the middle of being put on iTunes, artwork and all that type of stuff. Gonna get a couple of visuals done and that type of thing. So hopefully by January 2011 we have that on the road.
Good to hear, good to hear. And with People's Army as well, that's a big collective, innit? Basically you're pushing the UK scene from another kind of angle. So what made you want to start that up? And the same kind of question as well, have you got something, I know everyone's doing their thing individually from there, but as a collective, you got anything coming out of them as well?
Yeah, well we put out a little mix CD just to kind of test the waters about a year back. We've got a couple more mix CDs. Really and truly, we're going to be dropping a lot of mix CDs, downloads, that type of thing is going to start coming out of the People's Army camp. But alongside that now, we are also organising the proper album, so that is something to look forward to. Probably next year times we'll probably get on that more, because everyone's doing their own thing at the moment, so it's just time for me.
I hear that. Alright, now going back to yourself, out of all the tracks that you've made, have you got a personal favourite track that you've done?
Boy, I don't think I have, you know. Couldn't say I have got, I could pluck one like, wow. I couldn't really say that.
Yeah?
Say the truth.
Cool. And have you got like a favourite track just in hip hop in general, like from any artist?
In hip hop, yeah, I could say like 3.
Yeah, no, go for it.
I couldn't say 1.
No, it's too hard to get
Yeah,
one.
it would be hard to pluck 1.
Too many moods, isn't it?
Yeah, so I could say like 4 Women from Talib Kweli.
Yep.
The big track. Also, Feeds in the Night is obviously a legendary one for me. And where else would I go? See, you put me on the spot now. I have to kind of think about it. Yeah, I have to kind of think about this one hard though.
The basic, easy questions.
Yeah. I can't really just. You see where that one will go now? That will go to somewhere like Dead Prez and I couldn't even name a track. I just say the whole Let's Get Free album.
Yeah,
So.
that classic album there, man.
Say no more.
So with the UK as well, I've done a lot of tracks with a lot of people. Is there anyone in particular you want to collaborate with?
Boy, really and truly, anyone that's positive and got a good message in their music, I'll collaborate with. There's not really people in general that I'm thinking in my head I would love to collaborate with them, but mostly the people around me I want to collaborate with more. So it's just like that, really.
Cool. And is there any kind of producer that you need a beat from?
I need a beat from Dr. Dre, yeah, and I need a beat from Swiss Beats.
Without the hook.
Without the hook, yeah. And I need, that'll do, you know, just a Swiss Beats and a one Dr. Dre.
No Primo, no?
Yeah, you know what it is with Primo?
What?
And there's a lot of people that can do a Primo style beat. You understand? I've heard them.
But it ain't Primo though.
It's not Primo, I'm not saying it's Primo.
I hear what you said though.
I understand it, yeah, it's a different, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I love a beat Primo, don't get me wrong.
Alright. Well, definitely, obviously, you're repping the People's Army. I've obviously let that be clear. But I think, like, if you could actually, like, put it down to a slogan or, like, you know what I mean, what you stand for, you know what I'm saying? What People's Army represents and what you're trying to push forward, what you're trying to do, you know what I'm saying? Just to let the people know.
The People's Army, or Logical?
No, what the People's Army stands for, what the movement is, like, what you're trying to do with
The
it. You know what I'm
People's
saying?
Army basically is trying to push and promote a positive message through music to encourage change within the society and within the environment we're living in. What I intend on doing with the People's Army, and whoever's in the People's Army should have the same intention, just expanding it and spreading the message, getting more and more people on board and encouraging people to come and support and salute me. I'll salute you right back, and love is love, energy gets passed. That's life, and we'll grow as a nation. That's the only way we can grow. You see it?
I feel that definitely. So
bigger than music, not just musical. You see it?
Obviously, so you made your own like group to make that movement forward. You know what I'm saying? So what made you feel like there wasn't the people around you, or there wasn't the situation around you? You know what I'm saying? What was the downsides of the industry that made you think, let me do it independently? Let's do our own thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even about do it independently, do our own thing. You know, it's because obviously, majority-wise, what we're trying to promote and what we're trying to push in our music is not really gonna be signed to a label, a major label. They're not really gonna grab that message and say, yeah, that can sell to the youth. They're gonna sell guns, and they're gonna sell violence, and they're gonna sell titties and sex. We're not promoting that, so that's not gonna be, we're not their target. We know we're not their target, so at the end of the day, we know from back in the day, because I've always spat like this, I've always had this message in my music, so I've always known that I've had to make my own platform and build my own fan base and build my own people and support without no help from anybody, basically. That's it, apart from the people around me and my brothers and my sisters. So that's where the People's Army comes. The People's Army is a concept that was there before me and Loki even sat down and said People's Army and stuff. It was before that, it was there, but everyone knows that we're supposed to come together, but we just put a little label on it, follow Dead President's rules to an extent, follow their lead, should I say. I went with it.
So if there's like a dream that you could have, man, with the People's Army, if you could have your ultimate dream, where would you take it to, man? What point would you be at, like, worldwide known, like?
A dream for the People's Army, I think, would be just to tour the whole world as a whole collective, not just a couple of people. Like, we could get a 20-30 man tour. That's historical stuff, you understand?
30 people in one.
That'll be some serious shit, man. That'll be a big concert for real, man. Alright, we're getting to the end of the interview. I think we got to give you a definite chance to plug that project one more time. We got the listen thing out.
Yeah, you don't know.
So where can we get that?
Big Cartel. BigCartel.com. If you go into the Facebook, the MySpace, any of them kind of links, you'll be able to get at it. The free downloads are out there. Go and watch the So Serious video featuring Shadi and Mansour. Go and watch the Loving You video, single taken off of the Listen Mix CD. And yeah, bro, salute me, I salute you right back.